Okay, I think I'm live. Um, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I've been. I'm gonna come on here in a while. I've been watching this Crawford Avanesian thing play out, and I was just kind of interested, kind of in the overall picture, the bigger thing, and that thing is that Blue Blood, you know, self-admittedly that he was a fan, right? Just like any of us. About 5 years ago, I saw he came into the space, I think. I'll check it. 2017, I wanna say, and he built his channel to almost 200K subs, and he gets to the point where he's working his money behind the scenes, he didn't tell anybody, partners up with black investors in Silicon Valley, and give Crawford this deal. So we're talking about somebody was a fan just like everyone else on YouTube to player to player. And that's what it is. That's honestly what impresses me the most. That's what I see from all of this. What's up, Mo? I can put the thing in the chat here if you want to join. Like I see a lot of people like factioning. Oh, it's Spence's fault. Oh, it's Crawford's fault. Excuse me if I'm not looking at the right thing, but I'm looking at how Blue Blood is a player. That's what impresses me the most. I'll just go over it again. A guy who literally came from a fan, just like all of us, to being an investing partner and signing arguably the best fighter in the world to a contract. That's what gets me, and I think that goes over a lot of people's heads. Somebody can comment about that or want to share their thoughts, but that's kind of where I stand on it. I'm still just, how can I get in all this if I can or something? I mean, it's really impressive, really, really impressive to have done that, in my opinion. Um, and David Avanesian is no, I mean, he's a very solid fighter. I mean, it's a good fight. Obviously, I don't pick him to win, but he's kind of been on a tear since he got knocked out by Kavlauskas. He beat the European champion, the Spanish guy, twice, and he beat Josh Kelly. I think those were his best wins. And then he had like a couple of like fringe guys in between. But yeah, he's had a good run over there. And Ortiz actually pulled out of an eliminator with him a couple of months ago. But yeah. Oh, okay, Laws. All right, Laws. Yeah, I want to hear your opinion on the break. I know you watch Evanesian more. I've watched his fight with Peterson, and I've watched it with Mean Machine. The Mean Machine fight was pretty brutal, but yeah, he looks like he's improved. I like guys with the high guard for the most part, honestly, because they usually bring it, but that also opens yourself up to uppercuts and things like that, and you're kind of slow of feet. But is a good style. I like it's nice to watch. But yeah, again, Blue Blood. I'm just kind of, I know he's not gonna explain. He shouldn't really to his business, but I'm just really surprised that all the ad and the money he's got off YouTube AdSense or whatever and other things he's taken and put into other ventures and has really done something like this. And that's just that's really something interesting. I mean, Mo, do you have any opinions? Does anybody have any opinions on that? What I put out there about Blue Blood? I think it's really cool to see. Honestly, it's really cool to see. But yeah. So I see that Spence something about he might move up or he might not. He doesn't know. Yeah, the deal. Something about a 35% deal. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the ins and outs. All I know is that Blue Blood is an investment partner, who gave Crawford his eyes purse apparently, which is really, really, really something. Really something. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been saying. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Just trying to see what else is going on. Um, okay. Is there any boxing on tonight? I don't think so. Let me check box right. But yeah, the fact that they didn't fight this year, I honestly thought they were going to fight this year, and the fact that they didn't fight this year, I don't think they're going to fight next year. I thought this was the year to make it because there was nothing in the way. There was really nothing in the way. So I honestly don't think they're going to fight, in my opinion. It's kind of sad, but I guess that's what happens. Any boxing today? No, nothing of note except that flyweight Mark John Yap. He still fights. He's a super feather. He still fights. Jeez. What's up, Mo?
How's it going, Paul? How you doing, mate?
I've been doing good. Good. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's seen the news. I've seen people get really upset at Blue Blood and things like that, and saying that he broke
For what?
down the fight and things like that. Huh?
For what?
They said
I
that
heard the
he.
news as well, but I think, to be honest, um, you know what? If you want to make your money, just do your thing in it. Like, to
That's
be
what I'm
honest,
saying.
like, because he obviously, like, he works hard in it. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, like, he's one of the hardest worker guy on YouTube. Like, he's constantly uploading. Like, I don't even think he sleeps at all. So you know what? All credit to him. Like, if he wants to, I think, to me, like, that shows, like, if you work hard, you'll go places. But I just don't have enough time for YouTube because I got a lot of stuff going on outside in the real
Right.
world. So fair play to the man. If he wants, I'm hearing is he like the promoter or something?
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, I saw on Twitter. I don't know if it's how true it is, but apparently he has his promoter's license.
Yeah,
He got that a while ago.
fair play
So
to the
he's
man,
starting
man.
to make a move in boxing. What's going on, Laws?
How you doing, Loss? You alright, mate?
He's on mute. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
Laws, you
can
there?
you?
Yeah, we
You know
can't
what?
hear you.
Yeah. Hello. Maybe it's the signal in it. Sometimes I get like signal problems as well on YouTube.
Yeah.
But to me, like, I think that's quite like this fight anyway. Yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not interested in that fight anyway. To be honest, anymore. Like, Terence Crawford against Errol Spence. I
Yeah.
think it's a big fight in America, but I don't think worldwide. For the casuals, it's not a big fight.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's kind of
it's
a
only big fight.
hardcore fight even here.
It's a big fight only like for boxing fans. If you're a
Yeah.
boxing fan, absolutely. But like, it's not like as big as like Deontay Wilder against Anthony Joshua. It's
No.
not
No,
as
it's
big as
not
that,
that.
man. I'm getting a phone call. 1 second.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like that fight is going to happen anytime soon. Um, it is interesting to see where these guys go. Yeah, sure, Laws. I'm going to send it right now. Mm, sent. Yeah, I just sent it. But yeah, I don't know where these
Yeah.
guys
So yeah,
go from
can
here.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm doing that job that I told you about in it. So I don't really want to talk about online what I
Yeah,
do.
no
Yeah.
problem, no problem.
But like obviously I got a job and all in it. So but what I was gonna say is I got like a couple of minutes. Um, basically to me like I was saying, yeah, Errol Spence against Terence Crawford, yeah, it's just a boxing, like for the hardcore boxing fans. It's not no one. Like I got a lot of friends, yeah, they watch boxing, but they clash shows. So they
Right.
always say, oh, when is AJ fighting Wilder? When is AJ fighting Fury? Yeah, when's Dillian White fighting Wilder? That's all they talk about. They don't talk about like, oh, Terence Crawford against Errol Spence. Nobody knows like these guys like outside the US. I don't know how popular they are in the US, but that's just in my honest opinion. I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but it's just that's just the truth, you know. Yes, Errol Spence, he did come here. He beat Cal Brook, um, but even Cal Brook, he's not even known. Cal Brook is not known in the UK like that, you know. You know, if you're not a heavyweight, then unfortunately, you're not that popular. For the cash shows, it's
Mm.
just for the boxing fans, mate. You know, Loss is back anyway. How you doing, mate? Loss, you all right, mate? Yeah, I can't hear Loss. Can
Yeah,
you hear
so
him?
maybe something with your mic. Are you using a microphone or something? Are you using like a headset?
Try use your phone because I'm on my phone. But I can't hear Loss to be honest.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, text him. Yeah, text him and tell him like maybe use his phone or something. I don't know. But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, these guys. Listen, these guys they put themselves in a high pedestal. I'm hearing he's gonna get 10 million now. You know, him fighting Venetian. So good luck to him. If he wants to get paid, I'm not in any way. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, big up to BlueBlood for making the fight. Big up to him. Like, what else can I say? Am I gonna moan and say like, I've seen people blaming BlueBlood.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've seen that this morning. I mean, I was driving yesterday, and I was just playing his stream on repeat. And what's up, Eldup? What's going on? And I was just laughing at some of his comments about Blue Blood. He was telling the trolls that they weren't paying attention.
yeah, like look, yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, these guys, like I've seen guys that go orange as well, and they're blaming BlueBlood, saying like, oh, you're playing both sides. But look, how is he playing both sides? At the end of the day, if
Right.
he's gonna make money, if any of these people that are hating, if they were in that position, yeah, like they'll do the same thing. So if you're ever in a position of making money, go for it. Stop blaming people, man. Anyway, this fight is not even that huge of a fight. Like around, like I said, casuals. Nobody like is looking for that fight unless the hardcore boxing fans. And anyway, boxing is kind of dying out when it comes to pay-per-view. Anyway, like I'm hearing Wilder, he's done like I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but
Yeah,
he's
they
done like
said 77,000.
77,000. He done like 77,000. And that. But obviously,
Well,
because
Mo, remember when I was telling you, I said before the fight, I said I don't think that it would break 100.
and that's because all these streaming sites are just like
Yeah,
available to people. I'm sure
right.
there's about 10 million people have like watched it for free and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
77,000, like for me, that's a high number. If I, but for someone like Wilder, I was expecting him to do like at least like 500,000 because it was his comeback and all that sort of stuff. But that shows that, a lot of the, even AJ, like, outside the UK, he's not even that popular. I'm just keen to keep it down the middle, to be honest. Like, none of these guys are global superstars. I was just listening to Gareth Davis on Talksport, and he did bring out some good. What did he say? Like he was like, oh, Wilder should come to the UK. He should base himself in the UK, and I think he's right. If he comes to the UK, he can be as big stars as AJ. Maybe he'll do a bigger pay-per-view because up here they like guys that knock people out. You know, now they big it up Tyson Fury, say like, oh, Tyson Fury is a knockout artist and all that sort of stuff. So imagine Wilder fighting in the UK, knocking all these people out. Yeah, that's how you build your name. But I don't know, man. Who the hell am I anyway? But anyway, I got a job. I'm listening while I'm with people. So keep cooking, bro, man. Keep cooking. I'm still listening.
All right, no problem.
All right, bless up.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we've just kind of gone over the just BlueBlood's prominence. I think a lot of people. I'm definitely looking at his example and really interested in seeing how it all came about. Um, it impressed me. It impressed me a ton. Let me see. Let me see if Laws is back. Laws.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's better. Fucking hell. I'm having all kinds of trouble. I'm going to plug my headphones in. I was on my phone and it obviously wasn't picking up.
Oh,
Can you
good.
hear me clearly? Or
Yes.
have I got
Yes.
feedback?
I can hear you clearly.
All right, sweet. Let me get my headphones and plug them in. One sec, brothers. Fucking, I can't even find. I'm on my tablet now.
Yeah, no problem.
What the fuck's the headphone jack? Oh, what? Oh, fuck it. I'll find it in a minute. Yeah, what are you speaking about anyway?
Yeah. So I was just basically talking about how Blue Blood, keep long story short, went from what's getting missed in all this. I think people are blaming Spence, people are blaming Crawford, blaming this, blaming that, right? But it just never seemed like that fight was going to happen, even though I really did believe it was going to happen by the end of this year because there was no roadblocks and it still didn't come to pass, which is just bizarre. So if it doesn't happen, it's not going to happen this year. I honestly don't think it'll never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen. But
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
I
go on,
think
man.
that the big part that I see in all this is Blue Blood. Blue Blood was a fan just like us 5 years ago, right? When he started, built his channel up,
Yeah.
put his money together from YouTube and everything else he was doing, became an investment partner with the network who ultimately signed Crawford to fight this Avanesian guy, David Avanesian.
Yeah.
Right. And
I can't fault the bloke at all.
that's what I'm saying. And people are upset with him as if he was the one who destroyed the Spence Crawford negotiations.
No.
I think he just filled a void. Crawford wanted to get active, and he filled a void.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's a solid fight. I mean, it's a solid fight.
It's a brilliant fight. An absolute. That's Ty. Listen, bro. I was listening to KQKC yesterday. He had an open panel. I was Made Man. They had an absolute brilliant live stream last night, breaking down the negotiations between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. And he was saying it's exactly the same thing when Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder were trying to put it together over the 50 million bag. And people were saying, oh, yeah, the money's there and all that, and he should take it. And then he didn't take it. And people were blaming fucking Wilder and stuff like this. I mean, I've had a bit of a drink tonight, but what I'm trying to say to you, he broke it. You'd have to go back and listen to his live stream. It was brilliant how he broke it down. Basically, what he was saying is Terence Crawford is in the biggest fight of his life, and something in that contract spooked him. Whether he was getting under, because he agreed to be obviously 60-40 and stuff like that. And he agreed to certain stuff, but there was something else in the contract what spooked him. And you wouldn't do that as a fighter if you've been around as long as what Crawford's been around. And then he gets offered a bigger purse fighting a less opponent. I don't know. You're gonna do it, aren't you, bro? I mean,
yeah.
like I say, you'd have to go back and watch Made Man's or whatever he's called his live stream was absolutely brilliant last night. How he broke it all down. And there was a lot of Errol Spence fans in there giving him shit, like, you're going with all the ducking. And he was like, no, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to how I'm breaking it down. He broke it down absolutely bang on, Ty. Absolutely bang on.
BlueBlood's live. I mean, he was just. I mean, those guys. He constantly would have to stop. He would read a troll comment and be like, "You were part of the ducking. You destroyed this fight." They said he would go, ah, "Pay attention."
The thing is, though, Ty. I mean, hand on heart, I don't know the ins and outs.
No, me neither.
Of what's gone on. All I know, I've heard that now everyone's criticising Blue apparently because he's made a bit of a move, or he's made a move on putting Bud up there, getting a big payday. I mean, I don't know. I have to go and look back into it. But I mean, like you said, the man's invested his money into a fighter. I don't know. I don't blame Blue at all.
Where can you go? I mean, I don't even where a YouTuber. Who else in this space went from fan to not just player but serious player now?
Yeah.
They just
exactly.
a serious player. You know, it's something to marvel at and just
Of course it is.
And to think about. And I think that's what's getting lost in all of this. People are upset because they didn't see the fight that they wanted to, but they're not looking at how this other fight came about from one of us. Really, from one of us.
Yeah. Of course, a creator like us. Blue's got more knowledge and more, or whatever he's got more than what we've got, but he's come from like where we've come from.
Right.
A YouTube creator.
Right.
You know, and now people are mad at him. You can't be mad at the man. End of the day, I've always said to you, Ty, for the last fucking year, I give up on this fight years ago. Because it's the same old scenario, the same old shit. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. A fight what took 6 years to make happen. What should have happened 6 years earlier. They could have had a trilogy, them two, over them 6 years. And we waited 6 years for one fight. And it's exactly the same shit with Errol Spence Jr. and Bud Crawford. Two legit, absolute, fantastic, brilliant fighters. One's got 3 belts, one's got one. One's been fucking undisputed at 140. And the fight was never made. So I just give up on it, me. And like I said to Mike yesterday, I said, the David Avavisian fight, for me, that's a great fight. It's different for me because I live in the UK. You lot live over there in the US. And I know it means a lot more to you lot. And it's a lot bigger fight for you lot over there in the US. But for me, as a boxing fan, I think Avavisian is probably the best welterweight in this country. And Bud is obviously one of the best in the world, if not the best. So for me, I'm down for that, man. I'm down for fucking Avavisian fighting Terence Bud Crawford. Avavisian's coming off his last 6 fights have all come by way of knockout. Yeah. So let's see what happens. I expect Bud to win. Yes, I do. Do I think Avavisian will have a couple of good rounds? Yes, I do. But it's not as if Bud's just sat on the sofa and just thought, do you know what I mean? Do you know what? I find someone very easy to pick and just fight them for a good amount of money. He's fighting he's fighting the European champion for starters.
Yeah.
He holds a European welterweight belt. And he's fighting a guy. I know he lost to Green Machines or whatever he's called, and Bud stopped him. But what a lot of people don't know is you look into the background of David Avavisian. When he fought Green Machines, or whatever they call him, Mean Machine, whatever, he actually lost a member of his family during that camp. So it's quite obvious to me that his head wasn't fucking screwed on properly. I mean, if you lost a member of your family during a fight camp, it all depends how you handle it. But to me, I just think that David Avavisian wasn't the type of person he is. And even if he was, some fighters get better as they lose, don't they? Some do, some don't. For
Yeah,
me, it's a good fight.
yeah, he's had a career resurgence.
Mm.
I watched the fights after. I watched his Peterson fight. I watched the fight live. I watched the Kelly fight live.
Yeah,
And
he destroyed Kelly.
Yeah, I caught the replays when he beat the Spanish guy, Laraja. He beat him twice because he got him for the EBU title, and then he beat him again in the rematch, even quicker.
Yeah. I mean,
Ortiz was supposed to fight in an eliminator with him, and Ortiz pulled out.
yes.
I think.
Yeah. Virgil, that's what I said to my main man last night. I said, Frank Warren sent a contract to Virgil Ortiz for Virgil Ortiz to fight David Avavisian. And I don't know what happened. But all I do know is I did actually see Boxing Social, which is a British channel, did an interview with Virgil Ortiz. And Virgil Ortiz said, and this is hand on heart, he said the timing wasn't right. I don't know if he was going through camp problems or problems in his life, or I don't know. He just said the Avavisian fight at this moment in time is not the right fight for me. He said definitely down the line, not a problem. But at this moment in time, it's not the right time. Now, is that a duck? I don't know. No, me personally, I don't think so. I just think he might have had, like I said, some things to do in his life, or he had obstacles to get over. But D'Lo 404 Boxing at a great point last night. He said a lot of these new up and coming fighters don't want to fight Avavisian, and they don't. I'm not saying like he's some big killer or anything like that. What I'm trying to say, Ty, he's like the type of fighter that's at your ankles, or you got to get through that door before you go on to fighting the legit fighters, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
He's not a world beater, or excuse me, or like he's like a top. He's like before you break into the top fucking. I'd have him in the top 10, me, but I wouldn't have him in the top 8. He's just there in the top 10, like the last two, 9 or 10. But he's there. Do you know what I mean? But to break into the elite, you've got to get past him to get into the elite, which is obviously like the top 5 or something like that. That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
Yeah, yeah. He seemed to establish himself there. Too many people for whatever reason have it. They were supposed to, but they haven't fought him. And,
Yeah.
He's getting his opportunity. I know he was supposed to face somebody in October. I forgot the guy's name, but he was like domestic level. Like he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
He was a European guy.
Yeah.
He was English, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean, Ty, as well. Avavisian's opponents haven't. I mean, I spoke to you about the guy who he fought from Holland who was unbeaten. And when we looked on his record, we're like, I'm sure
his
there
last
wasn't
fight.
even,
Yeah. Horrendous.
there wasn't even one fucking legit person who we could find, was there?
Nah.
And then Avavisian knocked him out in one move. So I was like,
Yeah, that was
bad. This is like pub fighting. It's like a fucking an Olympic gold medalist boxer fighting some drunk from the pub down the road. Man had courage, but he had nothing else. and he got bombed out within a round. But
Yeah, Blue Blood
it's a good fight, Ty, and I don't blame Blue for this. I'll watch it. Like I say, it's different for me, Ty. I live in the UK. You lot live over there in the US, so I know how much. Well, over these last few days, I've really seen how much the
Oh, it's
Bud
cut like
versus
a unit
Spence
divide.
fight meant.
I've just seen it just cut right down the middle. People are on. They said they unsub from Blue. He's a liar. He was leading them on. He's doing all of these things. He messed up the fight. Da da
Oh,
da. He's just laughing about it. And then they were questioning Blue. They were like the trolls. They were coming in there. They were like, "Why didn't you get him Virgil Ortiz?" He said Virgil Ortiz didn't want the fight. He said he's not ready. He said, why didn't you get him Keith Thurman? He said, why would we go back to Showtime for Keith Thurman, but not for Spence? He said, what about
that's what
Jerron
I
Evans?
mean. Yeah,
They're fanagers.
they are. They are, Ty.
Fanagers.
They are. They are. Do you know what the shame about boxing is, Ty? I don't mean this to be disrespectful, bro, but as a British fight fan, not even a British fight fan, as a British person, I look across the pond, and what makes me laugh is sometimes, or quite a lot of times, I see people from the US getting on about you get fucking starched if you're a man fan, being a fan of this fight and all that. And I've never seen so much fucking hatred between fans. I've never, me personally, this is the first time. I mean, I know it happened between Pacquiao and Mayweather, but for me, as a boxing fan, watching quite a lot of American channels, I've never seen so much hatred between two different types of boxers who've got fans. And sometimes I scratch my head and think, fucking hell, man, it's boxing. Just as long as you're fighting the best, or we can try to make the fights, we should all stick together. But the amount of shit what I've seen from fucking, and I've never and I don't know, the American channels what I watch, I've never seen any channel what's fucking been a Bud fan what's gone in on Errol Spence fans. I've seen a shed load of fucking Errol Spence channels or boxing channels what support Errol Spence, what have been ripping Bud for the last 2-3 years. And I'm like, fucking hell, man, it's just boxing.
Yeah, it's very interesting, especially these past couple of days since what was the news came out Friday. I mean, it's kind of been mayhem, and it's just really interesting to see. I don't quite understand some of the black backlash to that. I mean, I guess I know that they didn't get the fight that they wanted, but
yes, I can understand that. Yeah, but
I feel they're looking at the tree, not the whole forest.
exactly, Ty. I don't know, Ty. Boxing in general is bollocks, isn't it? Bullshit. There's that much fucking shit what's going on. See, and the thing is, Mike did a great video the other day on about excuse me. Mike did a great video the other day on about people pocket watching what these fighters are getting and fucking crying about fucking he made this, he deserves this and all that. And Mike was like saying, I think it was the Spence fight. And Mike was like, I don't give a fuck what these fighters make. I don't give a fuck what they get. What we should fucking, what we should care about as fans. Oh, Derek Bailey, salute to you, bro. He's a good brother, man, Derek. Always showing love. And what Mike was saying is, as boxing fans, we shouldn't care about what these fighters make. We should care about the fighters making fights. Because if the fighters make fights, the fans are going to be there for them. So surely the money will come for them. But I don't know. I live in a different era from a lot of boxing fans. I'm 46 now, so really my era, Ty, is 80s, 90s, before social media and all this shit. You know what I mean? There was no tweeting on Twitter and calling fighters out and not backing it up and shit like this. Most fighters back in the 80s and the 90s, if they ran up on each other and they had a problem, it was aired out there and then, or at least the media would see that they'd run up on each other. So we knew it was bad blood, and the only way you could read about it was either Boxing Monthly or the magazine what Bert Sugar used to make, and your local tabloids and stuff like that. That's how I used to read about fighters and read about what they said and what they did. But 9 out of 10 times, Ty, the fights were made. Today, fighters just use social media as a platform to try and big themselves up, but they never back it up, bro. And that's why one of the reasons why I think boxing is on the decline, because there's so many fucking people who are invested in what the fighters are making, what they're getting, the negotiations. Oh, it's not fair because he's getting only 10% and he's getting 20. Fucking hell. You're not getting what them fighters are getting. I do understand that people care about the fighters. I understand that, but get out of the fucking pocket, man. Why don't you care about making fights? Or fighters stop talking shit on social media and making fights rather than being in their pocket and being so concerned about what the fighters are actually getting. My bad, Ty. Go on, bro.
No. Definitely. It's like, it all started, it was the Mayweather stuff, man. When he said A side, B side.
Yes.
Even Miguel Cotto, when he did it was a while ago, you can see it when they did the HBO face off, because they did one with Klitschko Hay before when it was HBO. But they did one with Cotto and Sergio Martinez.
Yeah.
And he said it in Spanish, copying Mayweather. He was like, "Cuarenta A side, then B side." And I'm just like, what the hell? Then you got it translated. And this has permeated the space. Cuarenta A side, then B side. And Martinez looked at him like that, like with a look. Like it crosses all languages now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What's going on, Derek Bailey?
Salute to you, Derek Bailey. He's a good brother, man, Derek Bailey.
Yes.
Derek Bailey, man, is a top bloke, man. He follows all the good channels. Mm-hmm. And even, I'm not saying he follows bad channels. Derek's always fucking there. Mo, what's happened to Mo? Get your ass back on here, Mo Boxing.
No, he's at work.
I wanted to speak to Mo. Get back up on here, Mo.
If you can, Mo.
Yeah, I mean, Ty, listen, right, bro. People, like you say, people going in on BlueBlood for, I don't know. I don't know if he's made this fight. I don't know. I've just heard he's had something to do with it.
Yeah, I heard it was money or something.
At least fucking BlueBlood's got fucking Terence Crawford moving. He's not moved all year.
That's what I'm saying. While the rest of us, even me, I'm sitting here just talking shit.
Yes. Yes, exactly, bro.
He's a player now, whether we like it or not. Like, I think people need to look at that. People are just completely bypassing that, and instead, pocket watching, factioning, faction.
It's like Mike said. He's just jealousy. Jealousy.
Yeah.
You know, Ty, I wish I had 1,000 subscribers. It's never going to happen. I'm a small-time, shitty little arse channel. One day it might happen, but the videos I make obviously don't appeal to my subscribers. Some do, some don't. But it's just the way life is. You have to deal with it. Some people make boss moves, some people don't. And for another man to stand there and be jealous because this guy's made moves on this fight and start to blame, oh, he fucked up the biggest fight in the last 6 or 10 years. No, he got fucking Bud Crawford off his arse because Bud obviously went to the PBC and didn't see something, or there was something in the contract. This is what Made Man was saying last night. There was something in that contract from the PBC what spooked Bud. Bud agreed to take the 60-40. He agreed to not have the original. I can't even get my words out. He agreed to something of the overall purse and not a guaranteed purse or something. I'd have to go back and listen to what he was saying, but what Made Man was saying last night is Bud agreed to every terms on Errol Spence's contract, and then when he's finally looked at it, or his lawyers or someone have looked at it, there's been something in that contract what spooked him and made him think, now you're taking the piss. You're taking the piss. Let's not face it. Let's not get twisted, Ty. This guy's in the hardest fight of his career. Errol Spence is a phenomenal fighter. No two ways about it. Spence is a phenomenal fighter. Great body shot, great counter puncher. He's a solid dude. Bud's a great fighter too. But like Made Man was saying last night, if you're going into the hardest fight of your career, and something in that contract, even though you've agreed to take less, which is right, because Spence holds 3 of the belts and he only holds 1. So I totally agree with that. But you holding the last piece of the jigsaw, you'd have to bow down. You'd have to bow down because he's got 3 belts, you've only got 2. But would you bow down to the point that your belt's not worth nothing? Because at the end of the day, we all know that Errol Spence wants undisputed, and without that WBO belt, he ain't gonna do it. So Bud has sort of got a bit of a bargaining chip, but he hasn't got enough of a bargaining chip to rule the roost, because obviously Spence holds 3 of the belts, so Spence rules the roost. But at the same time, you can't fucking dick Bud or for whatever's in that contract what spooked him, because he holds the last piece of the jigsaw. So I believe there was something in that contract from the PBC what made Bud think, you know what, I'm going elsewhere. But I have also heard a lot of channels say Bud's bad for business. I don't know. It's just what I mean.
Yeah. What's going on, Mike? Hopefully you can break this down a bit more.
Hey, up Dusty's here.
Oh shit, man! Hold up, hold up.
Nigga.
Ain't a goddamn thing, man. I just got in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Dusty
You know,
bitch ass nigga, Mr. Johnson.
I guess
Good, Mike.
I guess
I know.
me and you both moved recently.
Yeah, I know, right? I know Laws ain't talking about somebody being dusty. You know what I'm saying? He over there looking like Jarrell Miller right now in the gym. I'm joking.
You fucking clown.
What the fuck y'all talk about, man? Y'all talk about some that bullshit?
Yeah. Basically what you put in the group chat yesterday.
Yeah, I mean that's
exactly that. What did you tell the guy? The guy,
he came out with something that was like, well, you can look for an internship or advice or something on how he got
Well,
going. And I was like, that's it. Somebody gets it.
Well, what I was trying to tell the dude was like, you know, a lot of people on if my mic is too loud, just let me know. I'll turn it down. So, basically, what I was doing was I was trying to find a nice way to tell the dude to get a fucking life and shut the fuck up, you know, because no matter how you put it, there's a bright side to it. The bright side to it is a guy that hasn't, well, as far as I know, hasn't put on one fight, right? Hasn't did anything with the sport of boxing, right? As far as I know, this guy literally goes out there, put his money where his mouth is, and tries to make something happen.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Unlike what I do on social media, which is
Exactly.
open my big ass fucking mouth.
That's all I do. Talk shit. I haven't done shit, sitting on my ass. And Blue goes out and he does it. And the thing is, I was just telling Wallace, he's a creator. Just like us 5 years ago, he just got into boxing. As a fan, just wanted to watch it.
Sir.
He got his money together, did stuff behind the scenes, very secretly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but I heard on Twitter that he got his promoter's license a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to start somewhere. So you know what I'm saying? Anybody can get a promoter's license, but you can't you don't want to be the dude to get a promoter's license on the spot. You got to have one before anything pops off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, you know, what I was saying was that, you know, there's too many social media personalities on social media. There's too many with the coincides that some are monetized, some ain't monetized because they ain't got enough subscribers. But you have a lot of people out there that's eating off all these fucking boxers on a daily fucking basis, and they do it on purpose. Some of them they bring up shit.
Mike.
They bring up shit. They bring up shit on purpose to create mayhem and to where people can come back and, like on Twitter, they purposely say shit just so people will respond, just so they can get clicks and likes and hopefully get people to follow them. You know what I'm saying?
And Mike,
go ahead.
They steer people to a crash because that's what they love to do. They hate to see somebody being fucking. They hate somebody making something of themselves because of jealous ass, dusty ass niggas what live in a basement. So they're gonna fucking try and bring that brother down.
Well, it's not only that is the aspect of is that, you know, when you create a platform, we're not, no matter on what social media thing, we're not, it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the case may be. People always want to defend their brand, protect their brand, and not only that, you know, do things that necessarily is not conducive to being a fucking adult, which is bringing up shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, just trying to get, but it's just on the aspect of just getting clicks, you know, because before all this Errol Spence and this Crawford shit was going on, what the fuck people was talking about? A whole bunch of bullshit that had nothing to fucking do with nothing. It's been going on 4, 3
facts.
4, 3, whatever, how many years with this Earl and Spence shit, and it's been we in the same predicament that we was in from exactly, day one.
Mike.
And people are going to keep like, look, how many situations did you have to be with anything in life? Anything. Whether or not it's a female, whether or not it's work, whether or not it's one of your friends when it comes to borrowing money, whatever the case may be. How many times is it going to take you to catch on to where that the fight might not happen to where you should just move on and worry about fucking something else?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got all these fighters out here, right? You know, running that as heavyweight, junior heavyweight, Well, no matter what it is, you have a whole heap of fighters out there that haven't been discovered yet, right? Haven't been discovered yet. And reason why they haven't been discovered yet, because it's hard to get in between the top 15 of any sanctioned body. If for any fighter to get that's either known or half-ass known, especially if you're not known, to be ranked in the top fucking 15 in any of these weight divisions, you know how hard that is for these cats? You know what I'm saying? When you look at, like, even if you look at it, look at someone like Richard Lightley or Jermaine Franklin. Where the fuck did they come from? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Where the fuck did they come from? But they end up getting ranked somewhere, right? Not only did Franklin end up getting ranked, and now look at Franklin. Now he's in the contention of fighting Dillian White. How the fuck did he get here? He wouldn't have got here if he didn't know somebody. You see what I'm saying? Somebody has always got to put somebody up on somewhere. So I'm back to my fucking point of knowing somebody. When it comes to a lot of these fucking yahoos on social media, when it comes to this debacle with Earl's Terrence Crawford and BlueBlood Sports TV and BLK Prime and whatever the financial group that owns the company. Back it circles all the way back to that, right?
Yes.
This dude finagled his way to end up finding somebody and doing some things, end up getting this, right?
Yeah.
But if you go look at your favorite YouTube channel, right? You go look at your favorite let's just say not YouTube, your favorite social media person when it comes to boxing. What the fuck are they doing when it comes to the sport of boxing? What are they doing?
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. Exactly. Right on.
Exactly, Mike. Exactly.
What are they doing? The only thing they doing.
Mike, they're all good to chomps at the fucking gums, but they ain't doing shit.
Yeah, because the only thing they doing is what I do, which is flap my motherfucking gums on social media on a daily basis. But these cats these cats are fortunate and blessed to get AdSense.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? That's the only difference.
Yes.
And then when these cats start getting AdSense and start getting these super chats and all that shit, 9 times out of 10, motherfuckers change.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, they change up. They change up and start treating people different.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You can tell when somebody is on their live streams about who the fuck are you? What you mean? Who the fuck am I? You another nigga on YouTube talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nobody too. You happen to get super chats and all this other thing, but you ain't nobody. But the only nigga that's somebody right now is BlueBlood Sports TV.
Mike, just quickly, time, so I'm going to go for a quick smoke. I'm sorry to butt in. I'm really sorry to butt in. But Mike just brought up a very valuable point. Excellent. He brought up a very valuable point.
What's up, Bruce?
And that was about talking about the Spence fight over the last few years. Listen, Mike, I've been in my apartment, right? My new apartment. I know you and Ty from my old house, right? When I split up with my ex-missus. That was 4 years ago in March, this coming March. And we was talking about that fight a fucking year or two before I moved. So that's nearly 5 years ago, 6 years ago. What the fuck's happening with this fight, Mike? It was never gonna happen, bro. And BlueBlood made a fight for David Avavisian, which is a great fight. What people don't understand, like I've stressed so many times, it's different for me because I live in the UK. David Avavisian over here is seen as a badass motherfucker. People don't want to fight him. I'm not saying he's on the same wavelength as Terence Bud Crawford because he isn't. But for the up and coming fighters like Conor Benn, who ducked the ass out of Avavisian, Virgil Ortiz was sent a contract to fight him, didn't want to fight him. It's a great fight. Terence Bud Crawford versus Avavisian. But like you said earlier, Mike, we was talking years and years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, about Bud versus Spence. Why has it not happened, bro?
You know what? That's the reason why. Laws. That's the reason why I said, you know, find something else, because ain't nobody in the sport of boxing right now is going to be man enough to come out on the front street and really say how it is. It's going to be a whole bunch of this. Trust what I say, but you can't verify it. Ain't nothing nobody has said, right? When it comes to why this fight has not happened. I don't care if it's a tweet from Crawford, if it's a tweet from Spence, it's an interview, or whatever the case be. Ain't none of these guys said you can verify that is the truth. Ain't nothing. So this is what I say. Find something else to fucking talk about when it comes to the sport of boxing. Find something else. You can't be sitting around waiting for something to happen when it's been years and you know now well that most likely this shit is not happening anyways, but you've been staying optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with staying optimistic, but with all these guys out here on a daily fucking basis, damn near on an hour or on a minute, posting something about Spence ducking or posting something about Crawford ducking or whatever the case may be, what the fuck is that going to do for you but put money in your pocket? Or have people gravitate to you to like your little funky ass posts, because that's all it is going to do. It ain't going to do nothing for boxing. And like I said, the only nigga that stepped up to do something was BlueBlood Sports TV. Hated or like it, but he got his foot in the door, and guess what? He can possibly go on and do something better and from this fight. Not only that, maybe possibly fix some shit. You agree with Deontay Wilder when he was talking about how the sport of boxing is ran. These fighters need to start owning their own shit, i.e. when he talked to Deontay Wilder and all this stuff. But now all of a sudden when Bud doesn't like or doesn't agree or moves on and does some things to fight Adesanya and goes with a platform that nobody has ever heard before and stuff like that. Now everybody want to bitch and moan, and half of y'all some black power pimps anyways. So why the fuck is you mad? Half of y'all out there are some black power pimps. Y'all sell black power through boxing, or y'all sell black power through some other shit.
Michael.
Now y'all mad at this shit. You got a black dude with a black company with a black fighter, and y'all mad? And y'all mad? That's the thing that always that makes me really think, because when Deontay Wilder moved on from Anthony Joshua to make money on his own, to invest in himself, y'all was the same people that backed him. Even though everybody and their motherfucking mama wanted to see Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. Now all of a sudden, people want to worry about the splits. People want to worry about the books, the opening of the books, and all this other shit. So have that same fucking energy. But like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. If you want to be mad about the fight not happening, I'm okay with. I wouldn't think anything different of you. If you want to think Earl is ducking or Crawford is ducking, I'm not going to think anything different of you. The part where I step my foot down is when all of a sudden somebody finally fucking goes out of what they normally do and steps up to try to fix something, to get their foot in the door. That fucker gets bashed. BLK Prime gets bashed. BlueBlood Sports TV gets bashed. Adivicius gets blast, Crawford gets blast, everybody gets blast, but we seen worse fights than this. I seen more hate for this motherfucking shit than I seen for Canelo and Rocky Fielding. Than I seen with Tyson
Michael.
Fury and them two weirdos that he fought before he fought Wilder the first time. So I don't want to hear nothing.
And you know what, Mike?
Hold up. If y'all was really pissed off about anything, y'all should have been pissed off when Dillian White fought an old ass fucking Povetkin. Y'all should have been pissed off when Canelo fought old ass Triple G. All y'all out there that's pissed off right now. Not the people that was pissed off at those fights, but the people that weren't pissed off at those fights should be pissed off. Should have been pissed off.
Brilliant.
Because those fights, they went exactly how everybody thought. Everybody knew everybody was old. Everybody knew everybody was who was washed up and who was in shit. You know what I'm saying? So let's just stop it. Let's just stop the bullshit. If you want to change what's going on in boxing, what are you doing besides running your lips on social media? You can't even turn the TV off. You can't turn the TV off. Even if you don't like the fight, you can't stop talking about the fight. So you and then when you don't like the fight, you help build the fight by keep constantly talking about the fight in the builds up of the fight. See what I'm saying? You can't stop. Look, I have Tyson Fury blocked on social media. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing he says. I don't go to look for what he got to say. I don't go to search what the fuck he got to say. Anytime somebody else posts his shit, hell, I feel inclined to block them too. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't go look for this shit. But the shit that y'all don't like, y'all go and y'all fucking seek. Y'all fuckers go out and seek this to go listen to this shit. Y'all fuckers, y'all go out there and make videos, make posters, make these shits bigger. That bitch ass Ryan Garcia wouldn't be what he was if y'all couldn't keep y'all fucking mouth shut. Rolly Romero wouldn't be what he was if y'all couldn't keep y'all fucking mouth shut. If the shit is what it is, but I kid you not. People are going to be talking about this Crawford fight leading up to it. The same motherfuckers that's hating on the fight is going to help build the fight. And the same motherfuckers after the fight is going to be making they're going to make fight predictions. The same motherfuckers after the fight, wait a minute. They're going to do a live fight party. The same motherfuckers, the same motherfuckers is going to do a post-fight thing. So So even if you don't want to buy the fight, even if you never heard of BLK, you heard about the shit now, motherfucker. You heard about it now. You see what I'm saying? You went over to their motherfucking bitch ass little website. You download the app. You went around sniffing your motherfucking nose and shit like that around. And now you know who the fuck they is right now. So don't go running your little jaw jabbing, your little cock holster right now, acting like you don't know who the fuck they is on your little post when you clearly you do. Clearly you're gonna talk about the fight. Clearly you're gonna make a video after the fight. So let's not make it out to be something that ain't. You know what I'm saying? Just all I'm saying is there's too many posers on social media. There's too many posers. There's too many people that go out there that pose around here and act like this fight ain't all this, then the third, but they're gonna be the first ones. I don't give a fuck if it's a stream, if it's a link, or they're gonna buy the pay-per-view. They're gonna watch it.
Of course. And you know what though, Mike? Just quickly before Ty chimes in, I want to say one thing, Michael. That was priceless. That was absolutely priceless. But people like you, people like me, people like Ty, people like Moboxing, people like other people, small-time YouTubers, when you speak on shit like this, Mike, we just get brushed aside because we're only small. We don't know what we're talking about. We know fuck all. But what you just said there, Mike, is fucking priceless. My bad, Ty. Over to you.
No, I mean, you pretty much nailed it. I mean, you mentioned Ryan Garcia in that one. By the way, that's another fight that apparently was in December. Now they're moving that to January. You know, that's another one that
nobody knows if it's going down or not. And I don't get into business. I don't want to get into business too much, but I'm hearing these things about Showtime being phased out and moving to Paramount Plus. I mean, I stopped Showtime like probably I had a subscription up until the beginning of the year or something, early of the year, and I stopped that. It just wasn't it. I mean, it's gonna happen to them like it happened to HBO. And people were so happy HBO went down. I remember their last fight
Yeah.
too. That was December 2017, I think.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Some motherfuckers will celebrate.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen to Showtime, and then they're saying the Fox deal is up.
Well,
I mean, where do we go?
well, that's see, Tyrone. Like I said, back to what Deontay Wilder said about when he was talking to Anthony Joshua. You know, people, some of these boxers need to understand this. When you get to a certain threshold in your career, you know, these networks and these promoters and all these things, they help, but at the end of the day, you already who you are. You know what I'm saying? You already who you are. Like Anthony Joshua in the UK. It didn't Sky Sports, BT, DAZN, it don't matter what the fuck it was. Anthony Joshua could have got with YouTube by himself without Edward Hearn, and the shit would have sold the same amount. See what I'm saying? He could have did it on, because guess what? Everything is not going to be what it is today. Paramount needs some money. You see how Paramount do it on the Prime, on Amazon Prime. You see how they do it. They need some money. So what they're going to do is all these things going to be moving around. Showtime ain't got enough TV shows to keep people around. They know they're losing money. They know the little coaxial cable that goes to your house that plugs in the box. They know that those numbers is going down. They know the numbers on these applications are going down because they don't have enough TV shows, and plus people have means of IPV TV. See what I'm saying? Streaming it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have enough to keep people around. And so, and it makes sense if Showtime start figuring out a way to move things around, because Showtime is not is its own company, but it's owned by somebody else. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's owned by a bigger fucking company. So if people want to say, oh, well, Showtime is, then yeah, the numbers in, when it comes to the sport of boxing in the United States have been going down. And it's not because of Deontay Wilder, and it's not because of Terrence Crawford, and it's not because of Floyd Mayweather. See what I'm saying? People want to always make these guys out to be the scapegoats, but you have to understand over the course of years how many fighters that have came and left, how many fighters that have been passed up. See what I'm saying? And you have all these promotional brands out there. Why does DAZN want to gobble up? Put it to you like this: why the fuck would DAZN, right? I forget the Jamie Mitchell. Why would Matchroom snatch up Jamie Mitchell, female fighter, right?
Yeah, I remember that she made a tweet that
and
was
flamed
like,
Edward Hearn, flamed him.
Yeah, it was like I got a date for a fight in Dubai, and I checked, and there's no events on that day.
Yeah,
So it's a while ago.
Yeah. Now she finally got that fight, but that was a while ago. You have to understand, like, Edward Hearn fucked her. You have to understand, like, you literally signed her thinking that she's going to lose, so the fighter that you initially signed can look good. So you gobble all these American fighters, and what the fuck did you do with them?
Right.
Name Canelo was already. They say Canelo. Canelo was already Canelo don't need nobody to sell.
Yeah, they paid him whatever. How much was he paid for the Plant fight, allegedly?
Probably around 34 million.
30 something million. I mean, like,
And another thing,
Damn.
Showtime talks about wanting these big fights and everything from what I've noticed, but they're investing in, the Jake Paul fight. That's also taken a bit away or whatever budget. I mean,
Of course, yeah.
at the end of the day, I think they're just picking and choosing. They don't believe in this fight. Crawford Spence money wise, and I think they put up roadblocks so that it wouldn't get done.
Yes. Yes, I agree, Tom. That's what Mayman was saying last night.
This is what I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
This is what I think. I think what they think is that for some odd reason, I think to use social media as analytics to say what's a buzz and what's not a buzz from different demographics and stuff like that, right? It's sinister. I think it's sinister. Because can't no promoter, can't no manager show me how many followers you have on social media equates to how many people is going to show up to the venue and how many people is going to buy your pay-per-view or tune in on a subscription base. They can't do it. They can't do it because there's too many inconsistencies. This guy might have people at the stadium, but the numbers might be low as fuck. You see what I'm saying? So the way I see it is that the Jake Paul shit, one or two fights was good, but then to allow him to stick around in boxing, switch over to Showtime and all that stuff to try to build him, they missed their mark before. They should have did it before the Triller. And I'm gonna tell you this why. Because still to this day, he ain't fought a boxer. Still to this day. He got a professional boxing career, still ain't fought a professional boxer. So how can you get people to look at a YouTube guy that has a handful of fights already and ain't fought a professional boxer? Because what's the next envelope? We already seen this. We already seen him fight athletes. So the next best thing is for him to fight somebody like Huey Fury. And they even squeezing that motherfucking shit out. I don't think Huey Fury ducked. I don't think Paul ducked. I think that they looked around and they saying, wait a minute, let's squeeze this shit out a little bit more. All these people on social media is talking hard, doing this and the third. Let's wait a little bit longer. Let's get Jake a little bit, couple more fights to get his ass acclimated better in boxing, to build him up a little bit better, so he can make this fight a better competitive wise. Right now, Earl and Crawford, right? They probably looking at the same thing. Look at all these weirdos talking about this fight happening. You can't tell me there's no money for this fight. You can't tell me at the end of the day, like any other pay-per-view, that you can't just do we all just gonna split this shit up. You see what I'm saying? Because we've seen it before. If Deontay Wilder could fight Robert Helenius on pay-per-view, I'm pretty sure Crawford could fight Spence on pay-per-view. But for some odd reason, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And the list goes on and on with bad pay-per-views that we have seen over the years. So there's pretty much a whole list of how would I say, excuses, that's been happening. But guess what? The excuses can be remedied because these weirdos on social media are fighting amongst each other. They're fighting amongst each other. Hell, ESPN don't even know what the fuck to say.
ESPN is clueless because they're totally on the out.
See what I'm saying, Tyrone? They don't even know what to say. You see what I'm saying?
They're just like everyone else.
And so the fight don't happen So the only reason why I can say the fight don't happen is because the dates that they wanted to make the fight happen wasn't conducive. Wasn't conducive to what they were trying to do. See what I'm saying? Wasn't conducive. Around November, December, around the two biggest holidays in America. The month of the two biggest holidays in America. See what I'm saying? Thanksgiving. You got football, you know, with the whole Thanksgiving bullshit. Basketball and all this. So I think the best thing for them to do is to fight early next year. And I'm pretty sure that's what they said. I don't think put it to you like this. If it had anything contractual related over the years, why did Crawford say Spence is not ducking? Crawford said out of his own mouth, Spence ain't ducking. Earl Spence said out of his own mouth, Crawford's not ducking. So why would they both be saying this shit if nobody's not ducking? Because they have a fucking agreement. Y'all don't remember that? These two motherfuckers came on the mic and said they both not ducking, like, what was it, months ago? 6-9 months ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
So why would they say that? And then all of a sudden, ain't nobody vocal. Ain't nobody vocal. They write some weird cryptic tweets every now and again, but it don't mean shit. And then you hear Spence saying, well, I got to talk to my manager. What, you don't know what's going on, motherfucker? See what I'm saying? So there's no telling who to fucking believe in. That's my whole point. Who the fuck are you going to believe? You're going to believe Earl? You're going to believe Terrence? You're going to believe some motherfucker on YouTube or social media as a whole? They ain't got nothing to do with this fight. Who the fuck you going to believe in? You going to believe in somebody that has to deal with the fight, that has a vested interest in the fight? Who the fuck you going to believe in? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. It's been years the fight ain't happened. These niggas both fucked up. But there's other fights out there. I ain't worried about this shit. On to the next motherfucker.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, because I was pretty convinced at one time, I was like, there's no way they can't make this fight this year. You know, there's nothing in the way. I mean, you know, Mr. Crawford, he left Top, right? I mean, sort of forced out a little bit. I mean, it was getting too heated, but he left. He's literally his own person, his own guy. They went over, and now for some reason the fight is still not made. And if it's not made this year, I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's done. It's done. But I mean, no big deal. This has happened time and time again. Guys will just go their own way.
Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of weirded out, like, why folks feel like
just let me say this.
Shut the fuck up. I'm playing with you, Laws.
You dirty ass nigga.
But
just
Laws,
let me say this.
Hold up, Laws.
Just let me say this.
Hold up. Answer this question, Laws.
Go on,
Answer this question before you say anything, right? Why do you think people are surprised this fight's not happening?
The only reason I can think of that is because there's something in the contract that Bud spooked. Because I honestly believe that this is the hardest fight of Bud's career, and he's been around for a long time. He agreed to take the less money. He agreed to all the terms, but there was something in that contract what was shafting Bud. And he must have thought, well, I've got the last belt of the jigsaw for you to become undisputed. I've agreed to all your contracts, but I honestly believe there was something what was fucking putting Bud off. And I honestly think if I was him and I'm holding that last piece of the jigsaw, and I've agreed to all your terms, what you want, I'm not going to get shafted because this is the hardest fight of my career.
Mm.
That's what I think.
Mm.
But
Yeah, that's true.
also, there's two. I don't know, Mike. There's two. I don't know, man. There's too many fucking. Over the last week and a half, I've been watching a lot of American channels really closely, and there's too many channels what are going in on Bud, saying he's a duck, he's this, he's that, and the third, and all of a sudden now BlueBlood's fucking thrown a spanner in the works, and he's not. This fight's never going to happen, and all this shit. Is it? Am I correct or am I wrong? That apparently, what I've heard, that Bud's going to be making a lot more money fighting David Avavisian than what he was going to fight Terence Crawford. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. It's just what I've heard.
I mean, that's
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
that's allegedly what they're saying, $10 million, but you know,
Right.
Blue drop 8
Okay.
zeros on Bud.
Okay.
I saw LW.
Okay.
keep
Well,
tweeting.
then just answer this one simple question.
Uh-huh.
If you're going to fight someone for undisputed, and just say, I'm not saying what the money is because I don't know. I haven't got a clue. But just saying, for instance, you're going to get 5 million for fighting Terence, for fighting Errol Spence, and which is the hardest fight of his career, or you're going to make 10 million for fighting David Avavisian. Which fight would you pick?
Go the Avanesian fight if I'm getting 10 million. I'll get the Spence fight later.
Exactly, Ty. That's why that's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, pretty much, because you know what, this Laws, one thing I always say is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I seriously believe, like, when I listen to put yourself in these fighters' shoes, right? A lot of these fighters, I don't think they really, like, they care about the fight fans because they know they got to give them something to make some money. But at the end of the day, you who the fuck is going to pass up, fighting Anavicia for $10 million if that was the case? Who the fuck would? I wouldn't. You can say whatever the fuck you want to, but it is what it is, you
Yeah.
know. But this shouldn't be at any type of surprise. We haven't gotten to fight for a very long time, and these guys
Exactly, Mike. Exactly.
and
The
these
fight
guys,
wasn't made 3 years ago.
yeah, and Earl and Crawford has been fighting who between time. So
Exactly.
get the fuck out of here. And I'm not trying to hear about no, Earl fighting some Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman what the fuck has Keith Thurman done? I'm not trying to see that shit. Spence fighting Keith Thurman is to me Tank fighting Ryan Garcia. I really don't want to see it. I really don't. I really don't. I don't even know where this Ryan Garcia dude even came from. Ryan Garcia should be fighting Isaac Cruz.
Mike, end of the day, you're right, bro. People get so involved in what these fighters are making, and I can understand it because all fight fans have. I don't believe in the saying of "I'm a fight fan, I'm not a man fan." I believe that all boxing fans do love certain boxers. I do, me personally. I have a top 5. But what I'm trying to say to you, Mike, is I don't get involved in Percy's politics and all that shit. I'm down for anyone making fuck. I'm down for all these fighters making money. All I want to see is the best fight the best. But at the same time, I can't knock anyone who gets involved in a fighter who's been stale for nearly a year and he's been negotiating back and two for the last 12 months with a fighter, and no, even though he's agreed to take the less money of the purse and all this shit and stuff like that, and then somebody steps in and makes him a fight with a fighter what is a very dangerous, a very low risk fighter. How can I say, low risk, low rewards fighter, but he's getting paid good money. And now people want to hate on that person who's had some kind of negotiations with him fighting David Alvarez. For me personally, all I can say is I take my hat off to Blue Blood Sports TV. I take my hat off to him because he's done something like you said, Mike, in your video. He's done something what none of us crusty ass niggas have done. All we've done is chops us gums and fucking spit out fucking shit about fucking these fighters. That man's actually got off his backside and gone and negotiated, or he's had some kind of negotiations with Terence Crawford. And for me, like I say, it's different for me, Mike, because I live over here in the UK. And I know it means a lot to you brothers across the pond to have Spence versus Bud. But for me, I can't knock Blue Blood for putting a good figure number in Terence Bud Crawford's pocket. For me, what is a very good fight. David Avavisian. A lot of people don't want to fight this man. So all praises to Blue Blood, and we can all come on social media and dog the man, say, "Oh, he's done this. He's thrown a spanner in the works between Bud Crawford and Spence." This fight was never going to happen, Mike. Mike, how long have I known you and Tyrone? 4 years. We've been speaking about this fight for the last 4 years, and it still hasn't happened. But at least one thing I can say. Blue's got off his arse, and he's given Bud a figure number. So I can't knock the man for that.
Yeah, the whole situation is very interesting, and I'm just laughing at some tweets here from people regarding it. Fact of the matter is, though, he's gonna be active. I guess he's gonna get his activity fighting before the year's out, which he wouldn't have had. And it's interesting to see where Crawford goes forward, or goes from this. And Spence, I think they're gonna probably make the Stanionis fight or the Thurman fight for him next. What do you guys think about that?
Good fight, Ty. Good fight.
Yeah.
Listen,
All right, Laws,
man.
you're about to head out.
Yeah, I'm about to go bed because it's like nearly 3 o'clock. Another 4 minutes, 3 o'clock in the morning over here. But yeah, Ty, absolutely love being on here with you. I love talking to Michael. Mike's been spitting some gems tonight, man.
Oh, thanks. But you ain't going no for don't just because you
Yeah,
buttering
well,
me
the
up. Don't
thing
mean
is,
nah, fuck that Laws. Just because you buttering me up, don't think you're gonna leave out of this bitch in 3-4 fucking minutes.
no, but Mike, it's right what we're all saying, Mike. I mean, we're only small time players, me, you, Ty. Ty don't even want to be in boxing. I spoke to Ty many times. Ty don't even want to be in boxing.
Mm-mm.
I love boxing, but I also hate it. But I'm not one of them dusty ass niggers. What you know what I mean, Mike? I'm not a pocket watcher. I'm not a jealous man. I envy people who get off their arse and do something in the sport boxing, whether it be try and make fights, fighters cutting through the bullshit and trying the best to make fights, or promoters trying to make fights. I envy people. I envy anyone in life who tries to do something better for themselves. That's just the person I am. But one thing I can't stand, Mike or Tyrone, I can't stand people who stand on the sideline and diss people for trying to make either better for themselves or better for another person. I don't like shit like that. I wish Terence Crawford all the best in the world. He's a phenomenal fighter. I love Bud to fuck. He's definitely in my top 6. Errol Spence is a phenomenal fighter. It's an absolute shame that these two aren't getting it together. Maybe one day they will do. And I look forward to the fight if they ever do make this fight. And I hope it does happen. But if it doesn't happen, I wish both of the two fighters the best of luck in the world. And I hope they go on to have a great career, because they really are two phenomenal fighters. And I love boxing to the bottom of my heart, but sometimes boxing really pisses me off. But I'm not going to go down that lane. But I'm out of here, and I hope you have a good weekend.
Where the fuck you think your dusty ass going?
Soon.
Where the fuck you think your dusty ass going? Get your ass back here.
Take care.
You better roll. You better roll your dusty ass up a fucking cigarette and shut the fuck up.
Right. You take care, yeah, and I'll speak to you both soon.
Right.
Tyrone, peace, bro.
Yes,
Mike,
sir.
peace.
Have a good one.
Right on.
I need to.
Hey, Tyrone, don't you think that shit's like hella funny?
What?
Like when people was like, you know what, you ain't going. I told you, your ass ain't going nowhere, motherfucker. You ain't going no fucking where. Oh, damn, he left.
So what was funny?
Oh, how remember like a year or two ago, people was like, oh, I'm not watching the fight. And then all of a sudden they're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's happening!" And they talk about buying tickets to go watch the fight live. Shit.
They did it just last weekend. I'm not watching another Wilder fight or whatever it was. Then they said, I'm not watching him fight his sparring partner. And then they got close to the fight. Then they made a breakdown. Then they did a prediction. Then they did a live party. Then some of those people went to the fight. Then they did a post-fight reaction, like you said.
You can't make it up.
No, you can't. It's crazy. I wanted to ask you a question. I remember a while back, you know, Mr. Franklin's S&C coach. Were you thinking of doing an interview before his big fight? Or
I asked and stuff like that, but I think something happened. I think something happened to where you know, he's kind of, because I think something happened to where, like, you know, he can't just do interview with anybody or something like that, or he just acting funny.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because like at first, I don't know if I told you the thing where he said just DM him, just hit my messenger up. I do an interview.
You put that in the group chat a while back,
and then all of a sudden, it's like different now. You know what I'm saying?
Zero Dark 30. Yeah.
And I got my homie. He acting all secretive and nutted up and shit like that too. But even when he posted something on the thing, I wrote on there. I was like, I knew, but I knew I couldn't say shit. You know what I'm saying? And he even liked my fucking post and kept it pushing. It's like I told like when what's that one British YouTube channel, not Sporting Icons, but Boxing Squared, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Boxing Square says something, and I told him, I was like, look, dude, you might want to do an interview with him because, like, and this shit ain't his fault. Like, this and the third. Even with Tay Jones posted something like some boxer said Franklin was ducking him.
The Big Shot fight. Why
He
that
fucking wasn't.
He
fucking wasn't. Like, he wasn't ducking nobody. Like, and Tay Jones was like, yeah. I was like, no, he wasn't fucking ducking him. Like, people was not, some people were just not privy to and know what really was going on. It's no shot at Tate because I don't think he knew exactly what's going on, and that's the reason why Franklin is with Salido Promotions now.
Yeah,
he was.
They got him a bigger fight. Has he fought since that? Okay, yeah, he had a tune-up.
Remember, Edward Hearn been trying to get this. Edward Hearn been talking about Franklin and White and Franklin with a couple of his fighters for how long?
Yeah, a while. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
Wallen, yeah, he also has Wallen.
But this is the thing. I don't even know if he's in shape. I don't know.
I mean, it's a month away. This is, it's right.
Hello. I mean, we all know Dillian White can't get out of the 5th or 6th round, but still, you know what I told you about the old boy? I don't know what he's been doing.
Yeah, I remember you told. I'm not going to say what, but I remember you told me. He is preoccupied in some other areas. But if he were, it's too late now, as far as the status. But if he was training hard for this, I think he has a very good shot of beating him.
I mean, the only thing he can't like. I wrote on his Facebook post. I was like, man, you need to work on your uppercut.
Yeah,
but. If I was him, even if I wasn't in shape, like the dieting starts now, and
because I don't want him to go over there, get bowled over, and then they're gonna say we're ass again. We know we're ass on this. I mean, most of our guys play football and basketball anyway, but let's not do like a Klitschko sort of a thing. When we sent Eddie Chambers, fucking Tony Thompson, who didn't we send?
We sent the whole squad.
That's fucking suck.
The whole squad. But that's the thing that I told you a long time ago. If Wilder was lighter on his feet, which he still could do a lot better on that with that footwork, it's gonna be hard. And I also said that a lot of these heavyweights need to be lighter on their feet. Most of these heavyweights in today's boxing, they want somebody that can stand in front of them.
Yeah,
they don't fare well with anybody that's mobile. Tyson Fury don't. Anthony Joshua don't. Don't nobody fare well with in the heavyweight division when somebody's moving on their feet. So that's the only thing I would do if I was him. I would fucking move. He's gonna throw overhand rights and a hook, and maybe overhand rights, a hook, some body shots, and maybe an uppercut or two. That's all they're gonna throw. Dillian White doesn't have a onslaughts of punches that he throws. He has a select few punches that he throws, and that's fucking it. His stamina is what it is, and that's and that's it. Any like if you watch what Watcher said when it comes to the silent agreements, and then when you watch when you look at Malik Scott's post with all the spreadsheet, with all the little markings on the board and stuff like that, he basically says something like that with Deontay Wilder off the break. Like, stop fucking, having agreements with somebody and fucking taking breaks. Dillian White does it all the time. Dillian White, he pauses too many times and he gets caught. Every time Dillian White has been knocked out is because his ass don't know how to fucking move.
Yeah. This I'm just looking at BoxRec right now.
Huh.
Oh God. Yeah.
I got into an argument with the dude on BoxRec the other day. Because I posted his lawsuit and he got mad at me.
But it's saying here, I remember him. I watched his fight with Forrest and Sauer live. I remember those fights on Showtime. They were on Showbox or whatever they were,
Mm.
and he had a 2-year layoff, almost 2.5-year layoff. Actually, he got a tune up this year, and yeah, you're right about him not being in shape. In May, he weighed in at 280.
Who was 280?
Him, Jermaine
Who?
Franklin.
Shoot.
He was 277 and a half.
Woo.
And the fight before that, he was 231 and a half. You're right, yeah. This seems like a done deal. Unless he's
Smoke
buckled
some
down since May.
weed.
Probably not. Probably a dead mission. Fuck.
Think about it. Like one thing it's kind of funny, right? When you look at it's no slight at them, but when you look at UK fighters fighting Americans, it seems like they always want to put somebody in with somebody they know they can fucking beat instead of actual competition. You know, when it comes to Dillian White, because look at Dillian White. When's the last time he fought him? If you
He
look
should
at
fight Otto. If he was going to fight a Salita fighter, he should fight Otto Wallen.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you look at Dillian White, it's always a Povetkin, a Parker, some British dude, some Russian dude. It's always somebody from Europe. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again, you know, onesies. You would get a an American. What was it? What was the guy's the dude's name he fought that he cheated against Dillian White?
Oscar Rivas.
Oscar Rivas, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That was actually a good fight.
Every now and again, I still think that was fucked up. I still think that they should have ran that. I still think that fight needed a better level playing field. You know?
Yeah, I saw something. I forgot who said it, but that's why that B sample will never be there. The B sample, he said the B sample is only ever tested if the fighter or his team requests that it be tested.
It's not even a team, it's the fighter.
The fighter. Yeah. So they're not gonna request it.
Yeah. Because
so they're just gonna leave that minuscule doubt.
Because the way UCAT does it, so the triple BOC has UCAT do all the punishment in the piss test, right? And then guess what UCAT uses? UCAT uses WADA. So UCAT triple BOC says, well, we're going to invest all the power to give punishment and to do the piss samples, the pissing to UCAT, right? So, and then UCAT uses WADA's rules when it comes to prohibited substances. So when you look at the prohibited substances on UCAT's website, it automatically chases your ass to WADA. So when Edward Hearn, let me tell you something. The most idiotic thing I ever heard in the world was people saying that the substance that old boy popped for, was it Mr. Dangerous Connor Ben popped for, right?
Yeah,
was
that's the agent.
Was it on the banned substance list? It was on the banned substance list.
Yeah, it was.
It was. It wasn't labeled as what he's been popped for, but what the thing actually is banned. You see what I'm saying? Is banned, and in order for you to use it, you need a testosterone use exemption, and he ain't got one. You know, the last dude, that had erectile dysfunction to say that was the excuse for him not this is what UCAT to say this is the reason why he didn't disclose it, because it was embarrassing. They still gave his ass like 2-3 years or whatever. They still banned him, and like Law said, triple BOC is corrupt. it's like any other. Is like anytime when I hear somebody say, you know, the government needs to step in boxing. We need to this and the third. Ain't nothing. You can't name one thing that's been positive. The government stepped in and took over. You can't name one thing.
Yeah.
It's the most stupidest thing I ever heard people and run through with is never, because guess what? The same shit's gonna happen, but guess what? It's gonna be even more vicious because you ain't gonna be able to these dudes on the whole level playing field now.
Yeah. So where should, I mean, you just touched on it. Should it be like that? Should it be like Pride FC where everybody's using whatever they want to use and just you use to the max, so that you get anything as long as you don't kill yourself using.
You know what I think?
Be hybrid humans.
Nah, I don't think that should. I don't think that should be the case. But what I think the problem is that there isn't one standard. That's the problem, and it's kind of like anything you see on YouTube. Everybody wants to be the first, wants their own brand, wants to solidify themselves to be marked as being the forefather of this or that and the third. Everybody wants their own shit, right? And now there's too many hands and there's too many D's in the cookie jar, So now when you look at all these piss test organizations, right? All these piss test organizations? So who's actually testing the piss? Who's actually in the lab? Is it the piss test organization, or are they subcontracting it out? You know what I'm saying? Because like, really, what kind of business is this? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I just feel like it's like, they hooking their homeboys up. Because especially with the triple BOC, and you can't, because shouldn't nobody be able to get in the ring with juice in their system. And if I was Oscar Rivas, I'd have been looking at me and my lord as a way to sue the motherfuckers. Because ain't no way in hell, like I should have been forced to make a living against a lethal weapon. Because that's basically what you did. It was a lethal weapon. And after that fight, look at Oscar Rivas now. You see what I'm saying, Tyrone? They brought his ass in.
Yeah, he had a tough fight with that Polish guy who was pretty much unheralded for that WBC Bridgerweight title. And
yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like how Edward Hearn does it. Like, come on in, get rid of your ass, on to the next. Like, because he can't build nobody outside of UK fighters, and he knows it. Nobody trying to see how is Dillian White and Chisora still damn near selling out stadiums?
They'll do a fourth or a third fight, I think. Him and Chisora probably.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to, because Tyson Fury is gonna whoop Chisora, because Chisora refuses to get better. And this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion. He refuses to get better. He refuses to get his stamina game up. He refuses to do the things that people accuse Deontay Wilder of not knowing. He refuses. And his motto is war, and he just grows in there and just throws his weight around. That's the only thing he does. Throws his weight around and puts his hands together and prays to the boxing gods that something fucking lands significant and knocks his opponent unconscious. This fight is going to go the same way. This fight, I'm telling you, if Tyson Fury starts off leaning on this motherfucker, using his forearms and choking him, fight is not gonna go past the 7th. It's just not.
I think he'll be early.
It's just not because Chisora he just refuses. But this is not nothing new because Tyson Fury always said he'd give Tyson. If you go back and listen to it, before Tyson Fury was banned, he said he would give him a third fight, and it was awkward. And
Yeah, I remember that.
It was awkward. It was awkward on why did he say that? It was awkward. Like the second fight, what happened in that second fight? Why are you so quick to give him a third fight? You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, he pops from Nandrolone. Then he admits to using cocaine, and I ain't never seen somebody. If you look at everybody under UK that did 4-year suspension in boxing, Tyson Fury should have been one. He should have been one. If you looked at everybody, you can go on UK website right now. You're gonna see rugby players. You're gonna see cyclists. You're gonna see all kind of people doing 4 years fucking suspension. And if you 30 fucking 5, listen. If you're an athlete and you're 32, 4 years is damn near a death sentence when it comes to the sport. You're done. 4 years? Cyclists, rugby players, soccer players getting 4-year fucking ban for fucking drugs. But for some odd reason, when it comes to boxing, you rarely hear people getting 4 years. You hear 6 months. You're a year. You at max, you would hear somebody getting suspended for 2 years, Tyrone. Am I lying?
Nope.
So people automatically realize that out of all the sports around the world, boxing is probably by far the most. It's probably by far the most corrupt. People don't even get suspended for drug use, and they get caught like Scooby-Doo, red-handed.
Yep.
And they do Canelo. They do just like Canelo, just enough time to come back and fight somebody. 6 months is 6 months for a boxer, not a life sentence. 6 months for 4 years for a boxer is a life sentence. 4 years for a basketball player, life sentence. Football player, soccer player. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. If you're a professional athlete, especially if you're in your 30s, it's a fucking death sentence. You barely hear about people that went to jail in their fucking 20s coming back and being what they was in boxing, in 4 years or 5 years. It just doesn't.
Rydell Booker.
It does not fucking happen. It can't happen, Tyrone. It's not the same.
Well, there was only one. Vaughn Alexander got I think 1 or 2 good wins. I think Anthony Sims and Money Powell, but that was really it. I mean, he's a journeyman level. He started boxing. I like anybody. He was like a prospect. He was doing well. Then he went to jail for like 7 years. Same thing with Rydell Booker.
Yeah.
Right after he lost to James Toney, he went to jail for years. And look at him. Look at him now. He's still just being put in there to be resume builders for people.
Right? So it's kind of like Tyrone. It's like, who? Like I don't see it, Tyrone. Like it is. I know it's like people can say whatever they want, but it's a very hard thing to sell that, when even Moses Heredia, the guy that was Jojo Diaz's promoter before he got poached.
Yeah,
by,
putting out those court documents in the group.
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. Oh, you didn't know that Moses Heredia, like brother or cousin, was a gangster.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
straight up Mexican gangster. Yeah. When you read the court documents, you're gonna find out like with that shit, his cousin is straight up gangster. And He got in something with some NFL player, and somebody fucking ended up getting shot and killed and shit. He didn't do no time, no, but he's straight up gangster. And then you hear about Daniel Kinningham, you hear about this and the third, blah blah blah. We do whoop. You're about Canelo's brother getting kidnapped and all that stuff. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody doing nothing for no goddamn reason.
Mm.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me if I could cheat by way of making the mat in the ring extra squishy for my opponent. What else you think I would do? If I would do, listen.
That's honestly the scene. This from everything we've heard after that. That
Yeah.
The squishy, the making the cushion softer is probably the least you can do. I mean, people are doing things with the gloves, the system. I mean,
Tyrone, check this out. The most prolific, the most easiest, the most. I put it to you like this, Tyrone. The stress that you put on your body, your mental state, right? Just by doing steroids and you thinking when you piss, did I pop? Did I pop? Did I pop? See what I'm saying? Right? Doing PEDs is the worst way of cheating. It's the worst way of cheating. It's the hardest way of cheating. The easiest way is just to pay somebody. The easiest way is to literally get over on somebody. That's them in the easy ways. The hardest way, like if you think about somebody that's going for a job interview, know they just got done smoke some weed. Look at them, Tyrone. They sweating bullets. They nervous. They're scared. They mind fucked up because they really need a job and stuff like that. Now imagine a professional fighter with millions of dollars on the line taking PEDs, contemplating, damn, who always got on the back of his mind and he's supposed to be training. What do you think that's doing to him? His mind ain't even on training. His mind is on, am I going to pass the fucking test? Am I going to pass this test? See what I'm saying? Like and as far as PEDs concerned, the way they even test for PEDs is always changing. You're always finding a new way to test for these other substances they wasn't able to test for. And then they able to test for these other substances even more accurately now. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, to me, PEDs is like the last thing you would want to cheat with. You would be better off stacking your hand wraps in front of the commission just to have the commission to tell you to rewrap your shit. Am I right, Tyrone? Because they're not gonna do shit. We seen it on video. You can stack your hand wraps, and the only thing they're gonna do is say rewrap it.
Yeah, rewrap it.
Your gloves could be fucked up. Only thing they're gonna do is tell you to put on different gloves. And who knows? That could have been what happened with Dylan White's gloves, but we'll never know.
Yeah.
His gloves probably could have been fucked up. And they just said, you know what? Because at the end of the day, look, Oscar Rivas had grounds to break that whole shit up because gloves are controlled items when it comes to a boxing match. It's supposed to be like Fort Knox. They're supposed to be like secret documents. The gloves in water is supposed to be like secret documents on in Roswell. You see what I'm saying? In Roswell on the base, right? And you mean to tell me somebody took Dillian White's gloves and used them in the fight, right? To where you had to go find some new. That is Tyrone. That does not. It is Tyrone. It does not happen. That don't sound right, Tyrone. That does not sound right. That they had a correct chain of custody with anything, because you mean to tell me somebody just picked some gloves up and then didn't check to see who it was for and just gave it to them? Didn't even verify it. So who was verifying? If that's the case, who was verifying anything was even checked?
They probably paid him like another $500,000 or something. They had to have done.
Nah. Oscar Rivas went to the Oscar Rivas. Well, they didn't. And Oscar Rivas actually showed up to the WBC convention after that and actually brought it up. And guess what they did? They did him the same way Edward Hearn did Andrade when he was mouthing off at Canelo's, like, get out of here, you interrupted the press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, did him the same way. Like, they didn't want to hear that shit. And I think that's what boxing should do. If promoters and event managers and all this stuff can get sued for fighters receiving brain damage, i.e. Rock Nation, i.e. New York State Athletic Commission, I think that at the end of the day, these promoters and managers like Edward Hearn could get sued too for putting, because it's a deadly weapon. It's a deadly weapon. I mean, you could be maimed, you could be killed, you can serious bodily harm that you could receive, and I think that when you try to put somebody in there like Dillian White or Conor Benn in there with somebody I think that goes against the good order and discipline of anything when it comes to any sport. You know, not to mention all the fans that bought these tickets and airline flights and transportation. You know, the people that thought they was gonna have a job that day, make some extra money. You know, a lot of people was asked out. You know, and Conor Benn hasn't apologized to this day to nobody. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. And the thing that gets up, Tyrone, check this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That fight, right? You mean to tell me that all the millions of dollars that was on the line, all those the international from the UK and international and all this stuff, you mean to tell me they can make that, but they can't make no Earl and Crawford fight?
Yep.
They can make that bullshit ass fight, knowing damn well they don't possess nowhere near what they daddies possess. Nowhere near. And they daddies was good, but they was not all that, in my opinion. They daddies. Nigel Benn and Eubank, I don't think they was good, but you know, they bring their ass up over here. It's a whole nother ball game, you know?
Yeah, I remember when Tony beamed in while they were doing their thing. I know Nigel, had 2 good wins over. Doug DeWitt is nobody, but he beat Barkley. I guess that's good. And then he beat, well, we know about the whole Gerald McClellan thing. And all that. That's a lot of still controversy surrounding that. I remember they tested his boot or the blood on his boot, and that came up positive or something. Crazy.
But Tyrone, you mean to tell me somebody took the blood on the boot and tested it? Sheesh.
Yeah, of Ben, and yeah, he was positive, and people were saying, and I've been hearing this recently, man. These guys getting up out of nowhere, fucking. He got knocked through the ropes. People thought he was over. He gets up and he goes on. Same thing with Mr. Fury.
Cocaine.
It's somebody. I heard this.
It's cocaine, Tyrone. That's Sugar Ray Leonard.
Right. Yeah. Or some sort of version of another amphetamine that they're putting in their water bottle so that they can get up.
No, for real. Like Tyrone, that motherfucker said basically he got hurt. Shit didn't go around. Back then, that's when that's when that whole pill popping shit was, rampant. You know what I'm saying? That's when that's when a lot of people didn't know they was pill poppers, but they was pill poppers because they thought that since nobody knew you could get addicted to this shit, right? Motherfuckers start taking that shit. They actually found out you recover faster, right? And you could take better hit. You could take stronger hits with cocaine. And it doesn't last long in your system. Tyrone, that's what they found out. For real. It's cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it could be a student because when I was in Iraq, used to have to go outside the wire, like a couple times a week, and sometimes we would just roll by ourselves, or we get like the army guys won't have nothing going on, so be like, hey man, we going outside the wire, like you guys want to go, and they'd be like, yeah, okay. I was like, well, you guys drive, and we do everything else, right? So the gunner sits in the turret on the top. You know what I'm talking about? The gunner of a vehicle, Tyrone?
Yeah, on a Humvee.
A lot of the motherfuckers, I'm telling you, Tyrone, asking for amphetamine.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. Because
a lot of them.
To be alert because fucking, they're right there.
It's like, it's two things, like being sleep deprived, because Ambient, they was handing out like hotcakes. So it's like you either sleep deprived or just like literally just stand just like in that fucking turret looking like a fucking squirrel. Literally, Tyrone. Have you ever seen this? You've seen the squirrel, right? The fucker's just always like looking up, just looking around, looking crazy as fuck, like that. Like because and a lot of people's like they rather just, and I talked to one dude, and he basically said like he'd rather get fired on some type of upper than not being on it. And he basically says like, because I'm more relaxed and I'm more alert, but most of all, it's like it just helps to deal. He said like it just helps to deal with like all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stress, kind of like, takes, but it is true. And there's not an interview that I ain't never seen with Tyson Fury that I never thought he wasn't on coke. Just saying, Tyrone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's one. And there's other shit you could take that you probably won't even pop for. Because not all stimulants are stimulants, whatever the fucking shit's called, are on the bad substance list. That's kind of like one of those things with Billy Joe Sanders taking nasal spray that's not banned not banned when you're not in competition.
Yeah, the oxylifrine or whatever.
Yeah. That shit's dumb as fuck to even take it. That shit's dumb as fuck to even take it. Because what you gonna do when you get in the ring, you can't have it. It's just like meldonium, right? For years, meldonium was approved to take in the sport of boxing, right? But what happened is people found out that meldonium was good for helping your muscles to get oxygen, right? So what they found out was, right, if you wanted to compete in a higher elevation, from ground level to sea level, and not feel the effects of the elevation so much, motherfuckers were popping meldonium, right? So what do you think meldonium was doing when you're not on that elevation, Tyrone? So motherfuckers like Povetkin over there in Russia was out of his own mouth stated that he was taking whatever his doctor or trainer was given to him, and then didn't double check, didn't verify or nothing, just put it in his mouth. And it's just one of those things, like it's always something, a new substance being put on the list. You got oxylifrine, which is always banned, but not banned out of in competition. But then you have meldonium, which is anybody could take. So how long was Povetkin taking meldonium? How long were all these other fighters with hell of stamina taking meldonium? How long was a lot of these fighters taking clenbuterol? Like clenbuterol was so good some idiot even thought to give it to a goddamn cow. Tyrone. So it's like it's always going to be a new substance being put out there. It just when these WADAs and these VADAs and USADAs, when they figure it out, it's always going to be a new substance. Man, I ain't no goddamn Kenneth Derek Bailey. I wish I was a Kenneth, because me and Tyrone, we would be buffed in a motherfucker out here.
Yeah.
Shit. We be bench pressing YouTube right now.
We'll get like BlueBlood on the business side.
Yeah. Like I told that motherfucker, need to ask that motherfucker. Like, how, like, that's the reason why. That's one thing I wanted to say, but I was kind of cut off a little bit, but I wasn't tripping. But Tyrone, my memory be like, it ain't that strong, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So if instead of tearing somebody, like when I was talking about the whole BlueBlood and Crawford thing, it's like it's a very good opportunity for some of you people out there on social media to probably get y'all foot in the door, maybe doing some commentating, because people are always crying about Milk Dudhead, Tim Bradley, and all them cats. Some ground floor work when it comes to these interviews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe even getting
yeah, that's what I wanted to say earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. You know how the dude is the commentary talking, but then you got a dude on the floor talking to somebody on the floor, shit like that. Making sure the YouTube is working smoothly, making sure the stream is working. Like something like there's all type of intern shit that can happen instead of beating somebody down. But now you at the aspect of that you could actually reach this person. You see what I'm saying? And where it's happening. I don't give a fuck if you're selling food in Omaha and you want to do some fall off the bone turkey legs. You know what I'm saying? Or some ribs or something like that. Like really make it a smorgasbord for people to come to and actually get some real food instead of the stadium food. You know what I'm saying? Why they sit down and watch the fight. Like there's all types of things that you could benefit from instead of beating the messenger, the guy who stuck his neck out there to do something other than flap his motherfucking gums. But am I right, Tyrone? Like BLK, they ain't got no Achenbach, right?
Yeah, but they're just they're looking to make a move, and they started with a big splash, and apparently they have a long-term business plan. So we'll see. But I think that's the thing. Like you said, this will open for if BlueBlood can do it. This will open the doors for other people here on YouTube who want to do it, and maybe there'll be more change.
I wouldn't be surprised if a boxer owns that shit. I just wouldn't. It's just too fucking convenient. Like,
right.
Like nobody's not going to do business with somebody they don't know and they can't verify and they can't see. Just say, hey, give me the 10 million. It's like, okay, cool. It's like, who's your people? Like, who's those guys over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if if Terrence Crawford's negotiation skills was all that, you would think that he'll be looking around to see who's up over there. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously there was a level of comfort other than the money. Because what if this fight don't happen? What if the fight does happen and the stream's all fucked up and stuff like that? I'm pretty sure he won't trip, but it's still a bad look. I just hope the motherfucker don't get knocked out, man. That's my last thing before we go. I just hope Terrence Crawford don't lose this fucking fight, and I just hope he don't, because if he does, if it ain't, whew.
Yeah, we'll see. But thanks for getting on here. Let me shout some people out. Thanks Mo for getting on. Shout out to you, Laws. Who else? L Dub, Derek Bailey, 88 Num. Who else? And Blue Scos. Yep.
Oh, okay. Everybody, yeah, that's pretty nice little show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything, you guys. Thanks, Mike, for staying on and coming on.
I see you, Derek Bailey. I see you.
Yeah. Sounds like we're out.
All right, we're gonna get some coochie.
Yeah. All right. Peace out.
Yeah.